May God be with us, because here we go. I think it truly has begun, guys. Why? The 2 weekly candle has just closed on Bitcoin's chart, and something scary. It's saying something very scary here, but there could be some hope at the end of the tunnel, or shall we say light. So let's talk about what just happened, guys. Not to mention the monthly did close as well. There's a lot of signs happening here, a lot. So the 2 weekly candle just closed for Bitcoin, guys, and we were warning of this candle because Bitcoin just got confirmed for a triple bearish divergence, okay, on the 2 weekly chart, which means it's gonna dump. If this were to play out, guess what? The reason why we're dumping right now, by the way, and we have been, is because on the weekly chart, we got a head and shoulder pattern with the divergence, which we talked about. I don't know if anybody listened, but yes, that's why we're dumping, because this pattern is playing out. Now on the 2 weekly, we got a crazier pattern, guys, right? We got a crazier pattern, and it's probably gonna play out. I really hope it holds this level. Let's say it does come down, guys, okay? Let's say this at some point come down to like 80K for Bitcoin, that is. If the RSI goes below, right, it goes below this pivot, but the price is above this pivot, that's a hidden bullish divergence on the 2 weekly. You guys see that? Which is going to push prices up again. Okay, so that's where light comes into play. On the weekly as well. Why? On the weekly, there's actually already, this is where it gets really hopeful, there's actually already a hidden bullish divergence trying to form. The pivot is here. We're right now here. The RSI is below this pivot. If price can hold above 104K, 103K around this price, guys, it's gonna push prices higher, right? It's probably gonna remove the 2 weekly chart coming into play. Okay, so watch out for this weekly. We just need to see above 103K around this pivot, like I called for, right? And I think it's gonna go down there, but we have to hold around those levels, and it's gonna push back up. The monthly candle just closed as well, right? That's a head and shoulder pattern on momentum. Okay, that's bad news bears. It hasn't been confirmed. It gets confirmed by end of September, but that's a long time, and who knows what's going to happen by then. So let's take it day by day here. Okay, the charts are screaming bearish, 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 bearness. The bears are coming out to play, as in from Matthew. The structure of Bitcoin broke below. The bullish structure broke down, right? It was supposed to hold here as support, but we closed below this previous resistance area, guys. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys bullish, bearish? For me, I'm leaning more bearish, though Credible Crypto says, he replied to this tweet from Ace, you think top is in across the board? Cred replied by nope, bottom close to in across the board most likely. Oh wow. So he's saying the bottom could be in here, guys, sooner rather than later. Yes, the bottom could actually be in, like we just talked here, right? I think Bitcoin will go down to this level, but I think it's going to hold this level as support. It's going to bounce. At that point, we have to get through the retracement levels and keep going higher. If we hold this area as resistance, it's going to push down, right? So this thing is going to go back up like that, okay? And then we'll know what actually happens. But there's actually a bullish divergence, a hidden one forming right now. It hasn't obviously been confirmed, because there's still time that needs to play out, but we'll see. The bottom could be, I don't think it's in, but it could be close to being in, right? Now, Mr. Zoom says XRP monthly closes in. Since December 2024, XRP has been ranging sideways. Not a single monthly candle closed above $3.03. That's insane. Look at this, guys. Wait, this is a beautiful perspective. This is on XRP's monthly chart. The monthly candle on XRP just closed. Shall we take a look at XRP? So XRP on the weekly divergence is bearish ones playing out. 2 weekly. it hasn't been confirmed, but there actually is a bearish divergence on XRP, guys, right? It's lagging behind Bitcoin, it seems like. Bitcoin just got confirmed. XRP's bearish divergence on the 2-weekly gets confirmed in about 14 days from now, which is about 2 weeks. Okay, so we have 2 weeks for XRP to pump, to remove the 2-weekly bearish divergence. Okay, there's this triple bearish divergence on the 2-weekly that gets confirmed in about 14 days from now. But XRP has just purely been ranging. Wait a moment. Wait, what? When you look at from day to day, XRP feels like it's exploding, then dying. But no, it's actually just going sideways. It has been for many months now, since late last year. What? Now this is what you call bullish consolidation. When XRP finally breaks out, I don't think it's going to break below. I think it's going to go up. What does that mean? A pump, consolidation, then another pump. Okay? And this is why you take a look at the larger time frames and not second to second. Because this is clear structure. It's bullish continuation as well. But I think for the short term, there's going to be a little bit turbulence. And you know, we're waiting for the ETFs to go live rather shortly, right? Which Nate says, you heard it here first. People are severely underestimating investor demand for spot XRP and Solana ETFs, just like they did with spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs.
XRP ETF. I know you got Ether out there. How about XRP? Can you answer that?
I can't. And you don't want me to.
I do.
Well, I can't.
All right, they're giving me the rap. Thank you,
Charlie.
How about it?
Wait, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, who's behind Aladdin, by the way, cannot talk about an XRP ETF. This was last year. Right? I can't. I simply can't. He literally, that means he's a puppet to whoever gave him the order that he must not talk about XRP, no matter what the case may be, right? Even if he's like a hostage or something, right? He must not talk about XRP to anybody, right? Unless given permission to. So he's definitely a puppet. Their ETFs will be going live soon, but for now, XRP needs to hold at $2.80. From Ali charts, XRP must hold above 277 to avoid a retracement to 240, right? Some are bearish, some are bullish. It depends on what Bitcoin does, and I think Bitcoin will go down to 130K. I mean, no, well, 103K, which there's a possibility XRP does dump, but I think it's going to find support sooner rather than later, right? It's just that the higher time frames, by the way, right, take a while to play out. It's not today, tomorrow. Like, if this 2-weekly plays out and it goes below this pivot, which I hope not, it's gonna get crazy. Okay, it's gonna take a while actually, but you guys see how the RSI is below this pivot. If somehow we could hold above 103K, there's not gonna be only a weekly, 2-weekly hidden bullish divergence, which is gonna create a new all-time high for Bitcoin. That's the only hope we have here. Can Bitcoin do it, right? Can Bitcoin hold above this area as support, which is 103K, which I called that's when Bitcoin will bottom out, right? So XRP is just waiting for whatever Bitcoin does, and it's gonna follow. That's why XRP has just been ranging here, and we do have key support. Okay, so if XRP does magically hold up here, it's gonna be extremely strong. Because Bitcoin isn't. Bitcoin is dumping. XRP is rather holding smoothly here, which is a fantastic sign. Here comes X-Force Global.
So that should put us up into even possibly the upper 20 region and possibly even further roll in.
So he on his chart, he's giving two different scenarios. A bullish one, but the second scenario is an actually extremely bullish. Okay, a rather extremely bullish one as well. This is the bullish count. That takes XRP to like $15, $20, but this is extremely bullish. That takes XRP to $30 for short-term pain, because the possibility, he's saying, we could go back to $1.50. Okay, but this chart says no, we're gonna hold these levels and keep pushing higher. This chart, the first scenario isn't as bullish as the second, but the second accounts short-term pain. Which path will we take?
Get that wave 4 pullback, and then we should get that final fifth wave before we actually end the cycle. My cycle targets still do remain at a conservative $10 to $20 region, and possibly even further if we even get a pullback. So what's very interesting is that if the instant gratification scenario doesn't play out, and we do get actual pullback and come down and retest these levels, when every single person is going to say that's the end of the world, this will be seen as the opportunity to the eyes of a smart trader. And if that's the case, this, in my opinion, will be even stronger and should technically be even more bullish. So that should put us up into even possibly the upper 20, lower 30, maybe possibly into the $40 range before this.
Wow, he said if we go on this path, which XRP goes down to $1.50 or whatever, right? First, it gets even more explosive. So I hope we take this path. Yeah, there's gonna be short-term pain. But if the market wants a lot of pain, it will go through this path, because a lot of the newcomers will start to sell if XRP goes down there, right? Which possibly plays with Bitcoin's bearish divergences on the higher time frames. I don't know if it's gonna happen. We have to just play it day by day to see what happens with the price. But which scenario would you rather take, A or B? B is more explosive, but in exchange for more pain for a little bit of time.
Bull market really truly ends. Now, don't mind when the timeline is going to be actually happening.
So there's a bunch of stuff, guys, that's happening. Okay, bunch of stuff that's happening. So right now, the charts are screaming bearishness, though there is hope, because right now it's forming some type of bullish divergences as well. We just need to hold. That's it. And then we're going to create new all-time highs. This is a financial advice. Let's see what happens. And there it is. But anyways, that's all for this business. See ya.